Welcome to another edition of Davis Dynamics. Thank you for everyone that's out there in Golfland that's tuning in. This is going to be a quick, fast, and a hurry one of tutorials about the tips and the questions that are asked of me. And like I said, I try to give the people who tune in. I try to give them the basics of how I learned the game of golf and some of the background of how I'm continuing to try to make myself a little bit better. And so today we're going to talk about wedges. I know sometimes when we say wedges, it's almost like a taboo. People is like, oh, wedges, ugh, I really hit my driver, I really hit my long irons, I really hit my woods. But how many times do you use wedges around the green? Those are your scoring clubs. So why wouldn't you get good with them? If you're trying to bring down your handicap, if you're trying to shoot lower scores, even if you're trying to stay in competition, why wouldn't you get used to the clubs that you use the most, which are the wedges and your putter? So I have a pitching wedge in my hand today. Pitching wedge is probably the most versatile wedge you have. Other than the specialty wedges like your 60 degree, and I apologize because I have a 64. I was going to say 64, 60, your 56, 58, and so on and so on. So, you get wedges there between your sand wedge and your pitching wedge as a fill-in, but that's also a 52 degree wedge. So, but anyway, your pitching wedge is probably the most versatile wedge that you have in your bag. Reason being is you can use this pitching wedge three different ways to hit three different shots. And as you get better, I like to hit 5 different shots with mine. I like to curve it, I like to fade it, but that just takes practice. But basic mechanics of the pitching wedge is that I use mine now. Like I said, everybody's different. This is not set in stone, but I like to use mine is between, comfortably 60 to 100 yards. That's how I know that I can use the clock system to hit a certain yardage. Like, just to give you an example, my 60-yard pitch would be almost waist height. My 80-yard pitch would be about here, just about my shoulder. Now I'm going 100 yards. It's going to be, my hands are going to be just about just a little above my shoulder, and the club is going to be just about right behind me here. And so, and you also have little chip shots. You have little chip shots you can choke down on the metal here, make the club a little bit smaller, and then just brush it. So this is a versatile iron right here, and it's probably one of my best irons that when I'm in trouble, like if I'm in a bunker and I need to hit a 120-yard bunker shot, this is it right here. If I'm in the rough, I can go down for it to pop it out to get my certain distance. Even if I'm short of a par 4, par 5, I can hit it my favorite distance and then go for the flag. So this is the most important weapon in your bag, not the specialty weapons. Like I said, the 56, the 60s, the 58s. Those are for tight lies, real tight lies, where the grass gets really narrow, and you have to try to get it close to that pin. It's almost like a risk reward. But your pitching wedge, you can pitch it, you can pitch and roll closer to that hole. You can actually putt with it. It's just numerous things. So we're going to get into how to hit this pitching wedge. So first of all, when I teach my students about the pitching wedge, I usually get them to hit off a tee. And I don't know if you can see this or not. I cut a tee down about the size of, I don't know, if you were to probably look at your pinky, probably about the first line of your pinky. And that is just to promote a better ball strike downward, just to see how you're actually literally hitting the ball. So as you can see, I have the ball right here. So I have it perched up on a tee. This is my line right here. Once again, if you remember, we were talking about horizontal plane, sagittal plane. So I'm putting it right here in the middle of my stance, perched up on a tee. All I want you to do is, and this, like I said, this tee is really, really small. It's like the first inch of my pinky. That's how much it's off the ground, off the mat. And all I want you to do is just take your grip, your normal grip. Like I said, I've told you how my grip is. You just need to play around with yours, see which one fits you the best, see which one is more comfortable to you without strangling the club. Nice and loose, nice and loose. I know you heard about the old adage, hold your club like you're holding a baby bird. Well, you know what? I've never held a baby bird. You've heard, hold your club like you're holding a tube of toothpaste. Well, I've held a tube of toothpaste, but if I hold a toothpaste like I hold my club, I'm not gonna have any toothpaste left in the tube. So it's just a little bit more solid than that. So anyway, let's get into this. Like I said, grab your grip, the grip that you like. I want you to start off in the middle. Okay, horizontal plane, sagittal. So all I want you to do is get into your nice move. Sit down. And if you remember, we talked about flaring out our feet. If you remember that, flaring out the feet gives us a little more turn, a little hip, gets a little more hip, a little bit more depth. As you can see, as I turn, my hip goes back and behind me and wants to sit down. So that's a good thing, because when I get ready to swing, I'm using the ground forces to come up, and my actual knee is starting to extend to bring me up. So I'm going into the ground, and the ground is pushing me back up. Okay, that's called ground forces. So, like I said, let's just go into this really quickly. Put it on the tee, and don't worry about results. One time, it's been plenty times I've said, we are result oriented. Believe me, the results will take care of itself. We just have to hit this ball solidly, okay? So we put it on the tee. You get up here. Okay? We're not worried about where it's going. We just want to listen for that click sound, okay? That's all you want to do. If you don't hear the click, that means that you didn't hit down on it far enough. Now, I just actually hit the ball and I didn't hear the click. So that means that when I actually swung the club, I went this way. So that lets me know I'm adding loft. Now, we're going to hear the click. There's the click. Two different ways. So, and I'm going to show you exactly the reason the first time you didn't hear a click. So I grabbed my club, and I started from here, and I went up, and then I did this. Well, I'm doing this. You can see my body now is back at this angle. My weight is back here, and my hips are shooting back here. So there's two different things going on opposing each other. Never going to work. Okay? So now, the second time that you heard the click, my golf club is here. Should be just to the left for right-handed golfers. Just to the right. Just to the left of your midsection. And for left-handed golfers, it's going to be total opposites. So, I like to put my golf handle there. I like to go ahead and just grab on with the right hand. Now, I like to put just a little weight, a little more weight on my left side. The reason being is, if I'm standing here, straight, bending over just a little bit in my golf stance, if I turn and turn, I'm pretty much turning level. We want to go down and get that golf ball. So if I am pushing my golf club this way, and we'll see if we can do some go hold down, and I turn, that golf club goes behind me as my hip goes behind me, gets more depth, push backwards, and as you can see, my left leg starts to buckle down. This right here, actually, if you look at the handle, it starts to point toward the target. I know a lot of times you hear people say, you get up there, the handle should be pointing at the ball. Real world scenarios. But when you're on the golf course, a lot of times that doesn't happen. Why? Because we don't swing a golf club, if we're going for a certain yardage, then we're thinking that we have to hit it a certain force. We're not going to say speed, we're going to say force. Because it's two different things to get a golf club out, or get a golf ball out there at a good distance. And truly, that's what I believe. Well, we'll say 3. Hitting the center is the major thing. But beyond hitting the center, the sweet spot, it's speed and power. Now, with my 2 instructors, I don't have a lot of speed. The speed swing analysis that you've seen from me, 114 miles an hour, that's literally slow. But that's better than the average golfer. But for me, that's for people who've been playing for a long time, playing tournaments, that's pretty much, my swing speed has slowed down drastically since, my injuries. And that's okay, because when you take one thing away, something else sharpens. So as my speed decreased, my shot making started getting a little bit more accurate. So I'd rather be accurate this year than be, hitting the ball off the tee a long way. So I want you to try and just take one hand. Okay? A lot of people like the shaft straight up and down, where our belly button is. It's incorrect. We want to take our left hand and we want to push this club just to the left. Like I said, for right-handed golfers, to the left. For left-handed golfers, it's going to be to the right. As you can see, it makes a little angle. Okay, from there, I'm going to put my right hand on, and I'm going to, this is the part right here, I'm going to lean just a little bit. We say 100%, I'm going to lean 60% this way, toward the club. I hope you can see that. When I just lean my weight, did you see that? My shoulders, my hips went this toward the target, and my sternum stayed behind the golf ball. So that means when I get ready to come in for my shot, I'm here, boom. This is putting all the pressure down on that golf ball. As you can see the actual shaft bending. You can see it bending. Okay? So that's how you get that compression, or what we call trapping the golf ball. You have to remember steepness. The steeper you come down on that golf ball, the more left it's going to go. That's just basic science, 101. If you come steep, the face closes itself, the ball shoots to the left. If you come more from the inside and stay out, the ball is most likely to have a little curvature, a little draw on it, a little right to left, but it's going to be kind of straightish, other than you hitting it straight left. Now, if you come in and the face is open, well, 2 things can happen. You can hit the most beautiful butter cut there is, or that shot could be horrendous. It's called a hosel hit. or we don't want to say that nasty S word. That S word will hang on to you, so we're not going to use that S word. Well, matter of fact, we'll just say ain't for it, okay? We don't want to do any of that. So, what I want you to do, if you have a chance, I just want you to practice your little tee. Like I said, 1 inch, and when you go out to the range, you can take your own tee. You know, if you don't have one, or buy those little rubber tees like I do, and I cut it all the way down. Take it with me out to the driving range or in here, and just start paying attention to where you put the golf club. Not straight up and down with your belly button, but pushing it a little bit to the left, where it's just left, and we'll just go ahead and say it, just left of your midsection, okay? So that gives us a little angle. Now, from there, all I want you to do is get that nice and sit down, your feet about 45-degree angle here, so you can get a little more depth in your turn, get that hip more around you. Go ahead and push this club down. So I'm going to hit this, and then I'm going to show you one drill to do to try to get this down pat. Okay, so here we go. You heard that click? It's called trapping the ball. So here we go. Before we finish up and get out of here, okay? I'm going to show you this drill. Got 3 golf balls here. I'll pull one over here. I'll pull this back here. All right, we got 3 golf balls. I got 2 of them sitting right here. All right, here it is. Here's my middle, my horizontal plane. I apologize. Horizontal plane, sagittal plane. 3 golf balls. What I want you to do, this drill right here, and I still do this drill when my golf swing gets off. That means I'm getting a little out of sync, out of rhythm, and I'm looking at too many things. So, too many body parts. And I know that means I need to slow things down. So what I want you to do in this drill is I want you to get over the ball, get that shaft lean, and all I want you to do is push that shaft down. Okay? Get behind the ball, push that shaft down. Get your weight going this way toward the target and the handle going toward the target. Because if you have the handle going toward the target, the actual club is going to be behind you. It's going to be lagging behind. So I want you to get behind that ball and just push the club down. Almost it feels like it's bending the actual shaft. Okay? Got 3 golf balls here. I want you to do 1, 2, and then on the third, as you can hear that click. This drill is what I use when, like I said, I'm getting out of sync. That means that I'm looking at too many things around me. I'm not paying attention to my point of impact. I'm looking more around the ball, 360. I'm looking down the ball, but I'm not looking at that 2-inch impact zone that I want to be in to make my nice shallow divot. So, about 2 more times here. All I want you to do, I want you to get behind that ball. I want you to turn, push that club down to the ground. That's 1. Push that club down to the ground. And on your third try, pull it back. Boom. You hear that? That's compression. That is what you call you're trapping that golf ball. There's no other sweeter sound than that. That lets you know that you hit it solid, you hit it in the sweet spot, and your efficiency is great without killing yourself. The golf ball goes the farthest when you have a nice smooth swing. When you try to swing fast or hard, majority of the time you're going to be hitting the toe, the heel, low on the club, or too high on the club face. So last time, I want you to, like I said, I want you to go out and do this. Last time what we're going to do, we're going to get behind it, push it down, make sure you're pushing off this leg, okay, off this foot. Because if you're just doing this, all you're doing is leaning. Okay? This right here is making you push off the ground. So what we're going to do is we're going 1, 2, and on the third one, what we're going to do is boom. You heard that. So please take those tips out to the driving range. See if it works for you. If it doesn't, then let's try something else. You can always email me. You can always text me. All my information is down there. If you have any quick questions, if you have videos, I would love to see your swings. And we can go on from there. If you have issues, just shoot me one of your swings, and let's see if we can go ahead and sort you out. So anyway, thank you for tuning in, Davis Dynamics. There's a few people I want to thank, of course. Ray's Supermarket, Moncure, North Carolina. I always try to haul out my sponsors. Like I said, it's more than a grocery store. It's a family feel place to go buy your freshest meats, your meat skins, your special barbecue sauce. I'm telling you, it has everything. Ray's Supermarket, Moncure, North Carolina. Family Farm, Avon Ferry Road, has every flower that you ever want, any plants that you want, special on the holidays. Love to see the kids out there, especially on Halloween, and they're doing the hay rides. They have pumpkins and all that stuff, so they have different events for the kids. Love to see that. So it's Family Farms, Avon Ferry, Hot Springs Road. I want to thank Mr. Fitzpatrick, attorney at law. If he can't handle it, he'll definitely get you in touch with someone who can. Luckily, he's on my retainer. So anyway, I want to thank him. Have a shout out to him. Like I said, if you have any questions or anything like that, Mr. Fitzpatrick, attorney at law in Durham, look him up. Well, and of course, all in all, I want to thank TaylorMade Golf for giving me this leeway to do whatever I want to do now. So, but things are going to start coming in, but we're not going to stop our business. Our business is going to grow. We just built a building to have people to still come over when it's bad weather and you can't get on the range. Well, I have this huge building now, so I'm moving all my stuff into the building, so you won't be able to miss your drills or your swing or things like that. We'll still be able to get all the information you need to keep your swing going. So, like I said, Davis Dynamics is blowing up. We're getting big, and for this year, I think we're gonna soar. Okay, and all the small businesses out there, please support your small businesses. Okay, right now we're struggling. We're still got people coming in, but the way things are going right now, you need to support your small businesses. Okay, the big businesses are going to take care of themselves. The small business, the mom and pop businesses, please go there, support them, because they are the backbone of their economy, whether you know it or not. So anyway, thank you for tuning in to Davis Dynamics. We're going to put another link up. We're going to do some more things. We're going to go into the lab and check my emails and see how many more questions I have to answer, and then we're going to get that together, and then I'll do another recording. Other than that, thank you for tuning in. Love you all. Thank you for all y'all support. We're still going hard, and we're going to go even harder this year. So do me one favor. Go out and make somebody smile. Reason why? It doesn't cost you a thing. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you later.